Hi, what's up, everyone? Look, this maybe it's not that very welcome because I'm bringing something quite weird, and maybe like a lot of you are not gonna be interested on listening to what I'm bringing at the moment. But I'd like to talk with the young men today and somehow inspire them through somebody else's story. You may not like comedy so much, but there is a comedian who, instead of just being comedian, has got a brilliant story that can somehow inspire a lot of young men today in order to achieve their goals and make them believe that regardless of how high or incredibly big your dream or desire may be, it can possibly come true as long as you work on it. There is a comedian, South African comedian, this lives very close to here. He's South African. He's called Trevor Noah. Why do I want to use him as an inspiration or as an example to follow? Easy. Trevor Noah is a biracial person. Somebody who was born in South Africa at the time that at first he's biracial, as I first said, and it was born at the time that mixed or different races simply couldn't intercourse. It was a crime for two people from different skin color to intercourse, to have this relationship, romantic relationships. And Trevor Noah was the visible result of this committed crime. And his childhood was hard because he grew up not normally comparing to a lot of us, because he had to be hidden, and you couldn't feel free, he and his parents, his family, because they had to hide him, and sometimes he had to be considered as an albino, and that was something hard. Watching Trevor Noah, and by the way, for my English development, I used a lot Trevor Noah's videos, and that definitely helped me so much. As I'm Mozambican, my first language is Portuguese. English is just my third language. And watching Trevor Noah so much, that was extremely helpful to my English development process, the process of my English development. And what happened was, at the time I couldn't understand English so good, but still, I used to play his comedian videos or comedies and watch them over and over and again until I could not even understand anything at all. But still, I was watching it, and that was somehow helping my listening skill, improving my listening skill, and that was extremely helpful. So watching Trevor Noah was a great experience because he shares jokes, but at the same time he shares them in a very intelligent way. Like, you understand that behind all these jokes there is an intellectual thing being transmitted. Like, there is something very good to know being told. Like, his joke is go along with intelligence. Somebody who's quite well informed. So at the time I started learning English, actually the internet, especially in Mozambique, wasn't so good, and not everybody could have access to it. And I was one of those that could not have access to internet. So by the time that we started using YouTube and stuff like that normally, as many other people in other countries, that's when I investigated about Trevor Noah, and I ended up finding out that he's working in America now. He's holding program, I don't know if I should call it like that, but it's called Daily Show. It's a show. He's holding it. He's actually the one who holds it. And seeing him coming from Africa, especially from South Africa, such a close country to ours, and working in the United States, Trevor Noah has interviewed almost every famous person I know. And that's something that I believe that he himself did not think that he would get it, but as a result of a lot of work, Trevor Noah got there. So it can be used as an inspiration, like looking at Trevor Noah, first at how intelligent he is and how far he has gone. That inspires me and makes me believe that I can also get there. He's just one of us, and he's just there. And something that I would recommend so very much is the story, it's the memoir. For those who don't know, a memoir, it's a book that talks about yourself. For example, if you write a memoir, it's a book that talks about you. If I write a memoir, it's a book that talks about myself. So memoir, it's a book that reflects to the author, to the person who writes it. So Trevor Noah has got a memoir. The book is called Born a Crime. As Trevor Noah was born at the time that different races couldn't have romantic relationship, like they couldn't have any relationship at all. It's a book in a reading process for me. I haven't concluded reading the book yet, but it's very interesting and I highly recommend it to everyone. So this was just like a short video where I would just explain a little bit of what I think of Trevor Noah and how we should take this, how we should take him as an example, of course. And as I'm reading the book Born a Crime from him, after concluding, even maybe before concluding the book, I'm gonna come up and speak of what I think of the book and how is my reading process going, and like if there is something like interesting that you could go for. But I think it's very important for all of us to go through the book because it somehow teaches a lot of things of Africa. We as Africans, like, let's just forget about these borders that we have now. Like, Africa is just one, and if something happened in South Africa, it can worry you here in Mozambique, can worry somebody who is in Zimbabwe, whatever. So Africa is just one continent and we all just one. So the book is important because it talks about what was happening in South Africa. Knowing what happened in South Africa, it's going to make you understand much more of what Africa is now, where it comes from, where it came from, and where we may possibly get. So this is exactly what I was bringing to you today. It's a great thing, and I highly recommend you guys. I recommend Trevor as a person to all of you guys, and I recommend his book as well. Thank you so very much for watching it.